All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another show. Today we have a special guest in the house, Franklin Crocker, Mr. Franklin in the building, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
sir.
If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. Click that bell, turn on your notifications so you don't miss the stream. I needed to, not I, we needed to do this. We've been talking about this. We've been having our discussions with other individuals. It has been nothing short of absolutely interesting because there's so many different personalities, there's so many different feelings, there's so many different emotions when it comes to getting into this conversation in regards to the Bills, Stefon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and all that. But I think the most important part here is starting off with whether or not the Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills appreciated Gabe Davis for who he is. What do you think?
I don't think they did. Subsequently, I got a little story with Gabe Davis. Last year, I went to the Super Bowl, and out partying at a club, I happened to run into Gabe Davis. I never realized how big that dude is. He's a big dude.
Oh, he's a big dude.
6'2", 6'3", probably. He's a big dude and solid.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say, sometimes you don't find that size along with the talent that he has, and you can't let that go, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great two, and potentially could be a great one if you give the guy enough touches, in my opinion.
So obviously I'm not going to be super objective today, right? I am going to play bias just a little bit because I see both sides of it, right? And you know I'm a huge Gabe Davis fan. He to me he's always been my WR1.
Okay.
So I think the reality of what's going on as far as with Gabe Davis is him not, and I hate to say this, but I feel like he wasn't the man to stand up for himself in the locker room. He was I'm just here to do a job. I'm going to do a great job when I can get in there, and I'm going to be the team player, and I'm not really going to stand out. I'm going to stay under the radar as much as I can, and I'm going to go out there in the field and do what I need to. I'm going to be that good guy. And we always hear the saying, you know what's coming. Nice guys finish last. And when you talk about the situations as far as Stefon Diggs and him being a cancer in the locker room and all that kind of stuff, that adds to the flair, that adds to the discussions, that adds to the rah-rah of the team and the controversy. You know, controversy does sell. So when you have someone who isn't that individual and that can get thrown on the bus because they are the nice guy and they're the ones that will take take everything that they hear and just sit on it and, won't get mad at anybody and just plays that role. I think this is what happens. And I think people respect Stefon Diggs because he's the one that will get in your face about stuff. And, he's going to I'm not getting enough touches and I'm going to get in front of the camera and show my ass and, all that kind of stuff. And Gabe Davis wasn't that person. So as far as from the comments and some things that I've been seeing as far as whether or not the fans in Buffalo appreciate him, I don't think they did. And I don't think they do. And it's been shown over the last week. And obviously we'll get into some stats and all that kind of stuff here. But I think that's a big part of it. Just his personality, his persona, and the way that he carried himself. I think that was a big thing as far as how he was treated in the long run.
And I will concur with your statement. Not everybody is going to be the A-type personality. Now, they're all athletes. So typically, athlete does have an A-type personality. But there's degrees to A-types as well. Amongst other A-types, sometimes somebody has to bow down. Everybody can't be the leader. Somebody has to bow down, even if we're all great athletes. And he chose, or maybe doesn't have the personality to be a Stefon Diggs, which is not a bad thing because everybody can't do that. You have everybody with that kind of energy, it's going to bring some negativity to the field, into the locker room. It's going to be very toxic. So you can't have everybody do that. So I don't disagree with him with his personality. I love it. He's a cool dude. He goes out to play the game. He doesn't get too emotionally involved. And sometimes you may need it. Sometimes I think he may have to get a little bit more emotionally involved, slam the, helmet every once in a while, get into Josh Allen's face, give me the rock every once in a while. But I get it if he doesn't as well, because again, you gotta know how to play that fine line. It's like a DJ. You got to understand your audience. And if he doesn't understand his audience, he may not be comfortable with doing those kind of tactics. And I get it. But he is a talent nevertheless. And I believe he is definitely somebody that's needed on a team. Now, we talked about something else later, but I'm going to let you lead into that later on, what we talked about, because that's going to get more deep. And then, regards to what could be the outcome. And that's going to get ugly if it's what we think it could be.
We could veer off for a little second here. Shout out to Lisa. Says, Jay, what's going on in Buffalo? I don't get these moves. And I think you're kind of signaling into the Matt Ariza situation. And we're just going to lead into that segue. So we all know the situation with Matt Ariza, the punt god, right? We know the situation that happened with him and, the legal battle and the legal problems. And then things obviously came out. And then, he was acquitted for that situation or whatever. Maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Like, as far as that, that situation, he was absolved of the crime. Now, obviously, fast forward to the situation, he was let go by the Bills. He's still searching for a team, right? You would think that the Bills would bring him back because now he's good. He's free and clear. The situation's over. He's been cleared. His name is good now. Then it doesn't happen, right? Doesn't get picked up. Well, the Chiefs make the phone call. Hey, we need a punter. And so they pick up Matt Ariza, and I know there's going to be so many people that are just, he's just a punter. It doesn't matter. We don't need a punter. I think people really forget the power that a punter has when you have a 3-and-out, when you've got a situation where you trying to have a good sense of where the ball's going to go. You have a man that can actually pinpoint getting that ball within the 5 on the other side or within the 10 on the other side and pinning people back there on the other side of the field. That can be huge in regards to what your defense can do. So it's not just the point of, he's just a punter. It doesn't matter. It does matter because he potentially can also kick a field goal. That's going to be another thing that he may potentially do. So we have to stop discrediting people. It's just this. It's just that. And, really pay attention as far as different individuals who can be talented if they're worked with. And especially if the situation is especially if their name has been cleared from a situation. We see it time and time again. The Bills have this, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's kind of like this decision-making problem to me. It's a decision-making problem to me when it comes to personnel and players. And it's like you really sit back sometimes and you look at it like, all right, why did they do that? And you could mention the Von Millers and the Sammy Watkins and, the London Fletchers of the world. And, okay, well, you bring in Von Miller. Obviously, you expect him to do so much, and he turns out to be a bust for the money. You obviously, bring in Sammy Watkins. He's not doing, I guess, as much as you want him to do because of the play schemes and the designs and who you're basically playing favorites to on the field. Then he goes and leaves and gets a Super Bowl ring. London Fletcher goes and leaves, gets a Super Bowl ring. LaShawn McCoy goes and leaves and gets 2 Super Bowl rings. So
Gilmore, hold on. What about Gilmore?
there's see, that's the problem, right? I'm searching for the names, and Stefon Gilmore, right? He's right there, but it's like, and he was one of my favorite people playing defense. I was like, yeah, he's going to be great. And they're like, no, we'll let him go. And then he goes and gets multiple Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady. So we talk about the Bills' struggles from on the field, but how about let's talk about the struggles at the executive level? And one big thing, too, is this, because we're obviously having this conversation about Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis and the wide receivers. When we talk about decision-making, a lot of people don't even know who the wide receiver coach is. They don't know that we got a new wide receiver coach last year. They don't know they don't know who Chad Hall is. But they hear Ken Dorsey and they hear Joe Brady and they hear Leslie Frazier. The wide receiver coach is the individual who works with the wide receivers to train them, to coach them, to get them ready. So you mean to tell me the man, and I'm getting back over to Gabe Davis now. You mean to tell me the man who went out there and caught 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was 8 for 10 in a divisional game against the Chiefs, who you guys had no complaints about, now can't run a route, can't catch the ball. In 1 year, you guys have so much shit to say about Gabe Davis. And it's absolutely scary to me because it reminds me of the statement of, what have you done for me lately? Go ahead, Franklin.
Well, I want the fans to know something. Everything I say is my opinion. Please don't blame Josh for this. So I'll say I didn't say this. Gabe Davis, I'm looking at his stats from last year, right? This year, he had 7 touchdowns. Last year, he had 7 touchdowns. So the production didn't get higher, but it didn't get lower either. Seven touchdowns out of your number 2 is solid. There's some number 1s that's barely getting 7 touchdowns. Secondly, you talk about, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
One of my old bosses back in the day was talking about himself. This is an analogy. He said, the fish stinks from the head back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when I say that, the fish stinks from the head back, it starts with upper management ownership, in my opinion.
Yep. Because
it trickles down to the staff, the executive staff, the GMs, the coaches, and then obviously the players.
Yeah.
The ownership has to take accountability to want to be great. The Bills have had this mundane kind of production for some years now. You and I have been Bills fans for a very long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Bills fan. However, if it walk like a duck and it talk like a duck, it's a duck. It's a duck. So if they stink, I'm going to say they stink. Yeah. Point blank, period. And I'm going to call people out. Again, that's how life's supposed to be. Yeah. But I say that to say also, when it comes to winning, it has to come from the ownership, in my opinion. The Pagulas that also own the Buffalo Sabres have to say, you know what? We got to turn this around. It can't just be about money. This town, the Buffalo Bills, the Sabres, this town needs these organizations to be great. Yep. It's a very small town. And this is, when it comes to entertainment, this is what we have. Yeah. And when we have this goes to, I mean, this is like a badge on our chest when we get to a playoff game, when we get to win a championship, going to the Super Bowl. This is big for this town. And we need that. So therefore, I say that to say the Pagulas got to do a better job at looking at their staff and being able to not just get the checks. They're going to get the checks regardless because you're in Buffalo. Bills fans, whether they 0-17 or 0-16 and whatever it is, they're still going to go to the games. But we want that. Everybody's still going to. That Bills Mafia is a real thing. But we can't keep saying at the end of every year, oh, there's always next year. I mean, there should be a sign in Buffalo that says there's always next year. We can't keep saying that. I'm tired of saying it. So when you're making these kind of moves and going back to the Gabe Davis thing, what you said in the kicker going to, the new kicker going to KC, we talked about this, Josh. Yeah. I hope Gabe Davis don't go there because real talk, if Gabe went to KC, and back to your point, hold on, no, just one more thing too about this punter situation. Yeah. People don't realize your punter is extremely important because remember, you got an offense with KC, with that great offense. Yeah. We know he can get you 99 yards. Yeah. I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan. I'm not at all. But I respect him because he got 3 rings now. Yeah. But he can go 99 yards on the field. So now imagine him going or putting the defense or putting the other offense in a bad situation. Now they're on the 1, they're on the 2, they're on the 5, the 10. And they got to go 3 and out. Yeah. Well, he did that. So now Patrick Mahomes he only got to do, instead of going 99 yards, I can only go 50 yards. I got to go 60 yards. And that makes a big difference when you have a powerful team like that.
And that's why I said it's more of a, if you understand as far as, what a good punter can do, then it'll start make sense to you as far as how that can help your defense as far as in those kind of scenarios. For instance, we know that Patrick Mahomes, with a minute or two left in the fourth quarter, can drive the whole field.
13 seconds.
Right? 13 seconds. Would it make more sense for you to have a punter who, might be able to pin them down, depending on where they're kicking from, to the 30, 35? Or would it make sense to have a punter that can kick that ball very well with accuracy and pin them within the 10, which is what you're going to need in these kind of situations? And we're not just talking even just from a Patrick Mahomes standpoint, because there's other quarterbacks who can go down that damn field and decide to ball out and get a score or kick a field goal for a win. So I think when you talk about the Pagulas, because I do think that's a very, very important level of discussion, I think it comes down to, we talked about being complacent, right? Being complacent because, hey, the teams are doing just good enough, right? Maybe it's not about winning a Super Bowl for us. Maybe it's not about getting there. Maybe it's just about being complacent and making sure the numbers are good. Because, right, there's a business aspect when it comes to sports and money and teams and all that kind of stuff. So when you have a situation as far as where you're making the money, right, everything's in the green, are you really going to care as much as far as achieving results from a Super Bowl? All right, you make it to a AFC East champion. You guys have that. Put that on your banner. We're going to hype that up. We're going to make it seem very, very good, so you can forget about the Lombardi, because this is doing okay and we're fine with that. In which we know Buffalo's a very loyal town. Buffalo's a very loyal city. And so that's why you have the conversations and you hear the people get aggravated and mad because, hey, we're doing fine. We're doing okay. We don't need to make any changes. We're doing all right. I'm excited on Sundays. I like what I'm watching. It's not we don't have to win them all. My question is, what is this all about? Why wouldn't we want to be better than what we were yesterday? And that's not even from a damn sports, analysis. That's from a human analysis. Why would you be complacent with just getting by?
And that is the $1 million question. Why are you complacent just getting by? And we have been for a very long time. And again, you go back to the 90s when we got to 4 Super Bowls. Out of those 4 Super Bowls, we should have probably won at least 1 or 2 of those, especially the first one. But again, that's neither here nor there. My opinion, even with last year, I got into it's funny because I was at the gym, and week 16, I got into a debate with a guy at the gym. Now, this dude was kind of big, but I was like, I'm going to go toe to toe with him. And I told him, me personally, I said, I get the money aspect of it, but let's take the money away from it. Let's take the money out of the equation. Yeah. I would have preferred the Bills to actually lose game 17 to replay Miami again in Miami. He's like, oh, that's stupid. You want the home field advantage? I said, I get the home field advantage. However, Miami's a beat-up team. Playing them twice, we could have easily beat them the first time, which we did. I said we could have played them again because they were a beat-up team and beat them in Miami in a warm climate. Granted, we had that, we had home field. Somebody came here. But the reason I said that, I didn't want to be on the path of KC. Yep. Being on that path of KC I think was a problem for me. And I had a feeling that this was going to happen again with KC. KC has our number. And the problem with KC now having our number, you got Patrick Mahomes with 3 Super Bowls now. The issue with 3 Super Bowls is the NFL is going to always, every year, they're going to schedule the Bills and KC to play against each other. Yeah. The problem now is Patrick Mahomes has a mystique that's like no other now. He is, whether people agree with me or not, he is the Tom Brady of the NFL right now. Point blank period.
Yeah, I agree.
He has a mystique to him. When you have that glow to you, like what is it, the golden child, when you have that glow to you, you walk with a little different confidence. Now he got the little swag, he got the little tang walk to him, but that walk make it a little bit more struck now because he's the man. And when you're looking at that dude on the field, like, oh man, I got to play against this dude. Like that's a different energy, and we don't want that energy. We really don't. Yeah. Because that confidence, he's already confident, but he is on a next level now, and that's going to be very tough for the Bills to overcome that. Just his ego.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Purple. Says we are aware of the Bills record. Can we please move on? We're not talking about the Bills record.
Oh,
we're talking about moving forward. We're talking about future stuff here, Purple. Future stuff.
I love the print sign though. Love the sign
Um,
there.
no, there's we spoke about the reality in regards to Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, right? Because people always love to do comparisons and things like that. So Patrick Mahomes is now at a level to where you can't compare Josh Allen to him anymore. And it sucks because you want to, right? You want to put him in that caliber, but you can't because Josh Allen doesn't have the accolades nor the Super Bowl rings to put a comparison. You can, oh, well, the Bills beat KC in the regular season, and that's fine. But when you do these, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes now, and Josh Allen versus this person, and Josh Allen versus that person, I think the reality is Josh Allen can no longer be compared to Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes is being compared to Tom Brady and Joe Montana and all these guys who are Hall of Fame legends right now. Josh Allen comparisons are now going down to Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert,
And
Tua
yeah,
Tagovailoa, if you want to put him in
yeah,
that.
maybe him. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's just the reality of where it is right now. And it really begs the question as far as moving forward, is it the year, right? Moving forward, is it going to come down to a point where if it doesn't happen for the Bills next year, and let's just say somebody else gets it. Let's say, it's not Patrick there next year. Let's say somebody else gets it completely off the wall. We're not having the conversation as far as Josh Allen being a superstar elite talent anymore. We're just saying he's a regular quarterback in the league that just so happened to be a superstar in Buffalo. And that's a huge difference that people don't understand, right? You can look good on paper. You can have as many records as you want. The bottom line is getting to the Super Bowl and getting a ring.
The hardware, it's all about the hardware, man. If you don't have the hardware for the Super Bowls, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Totally irrelevant, man. And you are right in regards to the comparisons. I think you and I had this conversation the other day, and, when you think about it, and I didn't really realize until you actually brought it up, Patrick Mahomes has the same amount of Super Bowls as the three quarterbacks in the league right now that are starting quarterbacks, which is Aaron Rodgers, which is Russell Wilson, and Matt Stafford. That's it. He's tied with those three individuals have the same amount of rings as Patrick Mahomes. He's on another level right now. Again, I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan, but he is on another level.
Well, besides Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford does.
Matt Stafford, yeah. And then obviously, if you want to put somebody else in there, you can sprinkle Flacco in there because he came off. I think Flacco did a hell of a job coming off the bench and doing what he did for Cleveland. He may even have a starting job next year. Who knows? But other than that, that's it.
So I guess you're talking about in the sense of like who has like the Super Bowl wins and experience.
Correct. In regards to hardware, yes.
Rodgers, Stafford. So in a sense, like I said, Patrick has propelled himself even over them, right? When you have a comparison of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes now, there's no comparison. And that's why I said, so where does Josh Allen fall in the quarterback rankings? Forget, he's got 45 touchdowns. Okay, that's fine. Where does he rank when it comes to yards? Where does he rank when it comes to interceptions? Where does he rank when it comes to passing touchdowns? And then, obviously, MVPs, Super Bowls, Super Bowl MVP, right? Well, now it's at the bottom of the damn list. Because, like I said, it feels good, right? It feels good when you hear, on a Sunday, it's great. You watch him, you play, it's always a fun time. He goes out there, he tries his hardest, and we respect him and we love him for it. But when people say, Josh Allen is going to be the greatest, Josh Allen is going to be the best, unfortunately, we can't say that anymore because the best is Patrick Mahomes. No matter if you hate the man, no matter if you hate Kansas City, that's the reality. And until he gets unthroned or dethroned, right, from that seat and is beaten by Josh Allen, I can't put him in the conversation anymore. And you know what? I hate it. I hate it for multiple reasons because obviously, you have to deal with the conversations and the trolls and all that kind of stuff. But if you've been listening and watching to this team for however long, 10 years, 15, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, some of you, wouldn't it be nice to just say, you know what, my quarterback did it this year and feel great about it? Or are you complacent with just getting to the AFC East Championship and seeing what
I
happens?
got a question for you. This is a troll question, but it's a question nevertheless. We talked about almost how the Bills is, I'm not going to say they're a farm team like baseball, but it seems like when great players leave the Bills, they get Super Bowls. Does it take, it's a tough question, does it take Josh Allen leaving Buffalo to get the Super Bowl? Because Josh Allen on paper, physically, the guy's huge. He can run, probably got the strongest arm in the league, can get himself out of trouble. The only issue I got with Josh, one issue, and again, Josh, if you want to call me up, we can talk about this tonight. Only one issue I got with Josh, I feel Josh doesn't understand the defense enough, in my opinion.
Well,
I feel he doesn't have the IQ of a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady.
And listen, I don't think anybody's going to have that, right? It just comes down to that era and the way they studied the game and the way they really, really dialed in to what the opposing team and these opposing defensive linemen and all that kind of stuff and cornerbacks were safeties were doing. So when you have a Josh Allen, right, who's basically going to play off pure talent, someone's going to have to sit him down and say, hey, we need you to learn the damn defense from top to bottom. And he's going to look at them like, hell you mean? I'll go out here and win and do what I've been doing. I think the NFL has changed in the sense of the art of studying defense because that's how Peyton Manning became so great. We all know Omaha. You know that. And you know that meant an audible. You don't see that from Allen. Tom Brady, right? When he's pointing over that damn line and he's calling this person out and he knows how the line's going to shift. You don't see that nowadays. It doesn't matter who you have on the field. You don't see that from Herbert. You don't see that from Burrow. You see little changes and adjustments, but you don't see it in that realm anymore. And that's
But why though? I think it's more, me personally, I think it's more than the era of football now. I think, for my opinion, these guys now are more athletic than quarterbacks have ever been.
Yeah.
My opinion. So therefore, if I'm more athletic than most quarterbacks in my past, I could scramble. I can get out of situations without knowing the defense. Because again, all the quarterbacks we named, their first instinct is when they get in trouble is to run. Yeah. Tom Brady wasn't running. I can't run. So therefore, I got to know the defense. Peyton Manning, I can't run. I got to know the defense. Another person I'm going to add to that category, which I hate to do it, because I think he's probably the worst quarterback to have 2 Super Bowl rings, Eli Manning. Eli Manning was great at reading the defense as well. As shitty as a quarterback I think he was and getting the 2 Super Bowls, Eli Manning, great at reading defense. These guys can't run. So I have to rely on knowing that defense because otherwise I'm going to get sacked every single play.
So here's
my opinion.
Here's a good question too, though. Do you think having 2 Super Bowls makes a quarterback great? Because
for Eli Manning, yes. For Eli Manning, yes. The reason I'm going to say this for Eli Manning, and again, I'm not an Eli Manning fan. When they won that Super Bowl, when they beat New England from having an undefeated season, that says a lot right there, dog. That is a lot. Remember, New England, all they needed was a Super Bowl. They would have had an undefeated season. Eli Manning with a 9-7 record.
Yeah.
Pluck them boys right off.
No, and what's funny is I definitely it's kind of weird, right? Because I don't think anybody likes, unless you're a real Giants fan, right? I don't think anyone likes to look at Eli Manning and be like, he was a great quarterback.
He
I think
wasn't,
it's
but
they look at him like, all right, he won 2 Super Bowls and or he even got lucky, right? But there's no luck. I mean,
not
don't
at
get me
all.
wrong, there's a sprinkle of it somewhere. Maybe a fumble somewhere, or you got a pick, or someone was open and a play happened. But there's no real luck in getting to the Super Bowl and winning it, right? You got to have an offense. You got to have a defense. You got to have a coach that knows what the hell they're doing. And I think getting back to the other side of things, that's the problem when we get into the question of if Josh Allen left, would he get a Super Bowl somewhere else? And I say yes and no. I'm going to
I'll say
say
yes.
yes. Listen, I'll say yes because it's very easy to say, all right, well, if he was on the Chiefs, he'd go get a Super Bowl. If he was on the Eagles, he'd go get a Super Bowl. And I say no because if you get rid of Sean McDermott and you bring in Andy Reid to Buffalo, you'd have 2 Super Bowls right now.
Interesting.
If you
So you said it's not the quarterback leaving the team, it's the coach leaving the team.
Yeah. To be honest, and dare I say it, someone's going to be like, Jay, what the hell? I think if Dable coached the Bills, he could have led the Bills to the Super Bowl. If you take Dable from the Giants and you give him the Bills, just the mindset, the game planning, you've already worked with Allen. You've obviously helped launch his career, right? And this is another issue that I have with the Bills. There's so many people don't realize there's so much change in personnel over the last 4 years. How in the hell can you be great if you don't have a true staff behind you that you can trust, that have been loyal to the organization, that's actually used to winning? If nobody's won anything.
Okay, and you're right. No, I agree with you because if you look at even the past Super Bowls, think of the teams that won and how consistent their staff was. The only one that might be a little bit shaky would be maybe when the Rams won.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything has been super consistent. Super consistent teams.
Well, and this goes back to the conversation. So you go Patriots. We know what Bill Belichick has done over the years, right? So then obviously now this goes back into whether or not if Allen left, would he get a Super Bowl? Well, then you're saying he's Tom Brady, which we can't say that shit. He's not Tom Brady. So Bill Belichick is the same way, right? Your quarterback left, Patriots now shit the bed. So when it comes to that conversation, that's why I said it's a yes and no thing. But when we look at what Tom Brady was able to do, he was just a different animal because he left after winning multiple Super Bowls and then won another one. And the reason why I say Patrick Mahomes will never be better than Tom Brady is because Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes 3 times. Regular season, postseason.
He ain't got a chance to beat Tom Brady again, so it's over. That you can't. Yeah, true.
I don't care if you get one more ring than him.
You never beat Tom Brady, though.
You never beat Tom Brady, so you're not better than him.
True story.
Right? True. So when people even have that argument discussion, I laugh about it because it's like, well, he should have beat Tom Brady. And then I even without the rings, I might have said he was better because he actually beat him. And but when we get into the conversation as far as, if Josh Allen left and went to a different team, I just don't see it happening because he has not been able to get this team over the hump. If he got the Bills 1 Super Bowl, then yeah, maybe. But I think the problem comes down to the coaching. I think the problem comes down to whether or not Allen is able to get out of his own head, get out of his own mind. I think one thing that people really aren't talking about either is the fact that now he's reached the superstar level, right? The on paper superstar, right? Josh Allen, Haley, right? I'm big money man. I'm worth $250 million, right? So at what point? At what point do you lose the drive? At what point do you lose the focus that I got to go out and get a trophy? Because regardless, I got an arm. They know I can run people over. I'm going to give you a hell of a highlight show. I may win some close games. I may win some close games, but I'm gonna make it look damn good while I'm doing it. And I can go anywhere right now and get picked up for a few $100 million. At what point does the drive leave? At what point does the focus leave to actually get a Super Bowl when you've already been handed, the world in a silver platter?
That is a good question. And we are just saying what goes up must come down, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to Josh Allen, you're right. All the other things he's doing outside the football field, it's a lot of actually he's doing a lot of extra stuff. You have the commercials, you have the EA Sports, everything. Josh Allen's everywhere.
Yeah.
And where does it come to a point, like you said, where you start now focusing? The other thing, I'm gonna give Josh Allen credit for this. Now, Josh, I'm gonna beat you up a little bit, but I'm gonna slap you in the ass right afterwards. Other thing I give him credit for is he's an Iron Man. How many games has Josh Allen missed? I think it's 0, right? Is it 0? I don't think he's missed a game yet, has he?
No,
he may have left out of a game, but I don't think he's actually missed a game yet.
Just completely missed the game. No, I don't think
he's completely game yet. So you got to give him, for his size and what he does.
Oh yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now there is a downside to that though, because I'm not trying to. Again, I like to give comparisons. There's another gentleman in basketball that did the same thing and went from doing that and went to injury prone afterwards.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
So my point is, he's going to gap. Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get hurt eventually. When that happens, it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. He's a football player. He's going to get hurt. It's inevitable. When it happens, are we built to win when he gets hurt? When we could be winning the game, third quarter, something happens to his pinky toe, comes off, whatever it is, the nail comes off, whatever it is, takes him out the game. Can we win a game with Josh Allen sitting on the bench? And that's going to be the key factor.
Hell no.
And that's our problem, man.
I don't think anybody trusts Kyle Allen.
That's our biggest problem then. Now, I give us credit for last year because we did, for the first time in a long time, establish a run game. Yeah. Now teams will say, okay, yeah, these boys can run with Cook. Cook is Cook out here doing his thing. And again, he had some help too, with Harris and everybody else. But again, can we really rely on the run game if Josh Allen's out?
So that's another problem that I have, like just from a coaching standpoint, right? When you look at what Ken Dorsey tried to do as far as with the run, right? Obviously mixing Allen and then Murray and then Cook and all that kind of stuff. And even before that, right, it was Singletary and Zach Moss. And then you still had Allen running out there. And for as long as I can remember this, I'll bring it up. Zach Moss is over the Colts now, having the time of his life, and he's doing amazing things.
Singletary?
Over there with the Texans, having the time of his life, doing some amazing things. And once again, like I said, it always comes back to the damn decisions that coaching the staff makes when it comes to personnel on the field. Now, whatever, you move on from it. All right, you go get Hines now for Moss. And what happens to him? He gets injured.
He gets hurt.
He's done. It's just done, right? You go get Von Miller. Terrible decision. He's injured now. He's done. And you wasted all this damn money. So when you look at the decisions that they make, like I said, this is the biggest problem that I think I have is the decision making from the personnel. It's absolutely been terrible. Who should I give, credit for big pickups? All right, I'll give you Josh Allen. I'll give you Greg Russo. I'll give you Ed Oliver. I'll give you Matt Milano. I'll give you Micah Parsons. I'll give you Jordan Poyer. But offense, who are we giving credit for? Shakir, Johnson, Kincaid, Dawson Knox, who's now injured almost all the time, right? Where's Epinesa? What's Epinesa doing? Is he going up, or is he like this right now, or is he trending down? At what point is the team going to be complete enough, or was it already complete and we just didn't notice it, and now the time is done?
Now the time is near, and I face my final curtain. You know what? You might have a good point there. And I think, you know what? I think you actually just said something that's really profound. Where we already are at our peak, and we just can't do it. Because that might be the case, Josh. We might have actually reached our peak. And that's it. This is all we're going to get. Because when you just named off all those players, I think, again, the whole Dawson Knox and Kincaid came out balling. Now, I agree with the initial plan was to be like Hernandez and Gronk when they were causing terror in the AFC, when they caused terror in the NFL. I get that. Those two big dudes, great. But when they're in the field together, they don't seem to play good together at all.
No.
When they're in the field together, they don't seem to play good at all.
Well, but see, I think the problem with that is if you don't, okay, if Joe Brady doesn't understand how to use two tight ends in an offensive scheme, then it wouldn't work, right? This comes down to experience. I can have 4 all-star, superstar wide receivers out there. If I don't know what the hell to do with them, if I don't know how to create a game plan around these guys, it's not going to happen regardless of the damn talent I got on the field. You could have Shakir, Kincaid, Gabe Davis, Stefon Diggs, and whoever else out there, and that could be the all-star group for a certain coach and a certain offensive coordinator. But if this guy can't get the job done, and if this guy doesn't know what the hell they're doing, then what you get is a mediocre example of what football should be.
And you are spot on, because when you said it, I went to a team, and I'm going to say it for you. Think about, let's go back to KC again. Think about Kelsey. Now, he ain't the fastest guy in the field. That's for damn sure.
No.
I mean, but look what they do as a tight end. With this tight end, look what they do with this tight end. That's not the fastest guy. He probably is the slowest guy on offense, besides your offensive lineman. He's the slowest guy on offense, but yet knows where to go to. They put the plays, they strategically make plays for him to get in that zone, sit your ass right there, and you're going to chill, and he going to find you some way, somehow. Look in the playoffs when we played him, how he was wide open for a touchdown. In my opinion, me coaching, again, we already know he's burnt us many times, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doubling him up. Somebody else going to beat me. You're not going to let Kelsey beat me.
Exactly.
Let somebody else. If you get beat by somebody else, okay, you guys get a great plan. I give hats off to the coaching for putting that scheme together. But we ain't gonna let this dude beat us. This dude beat us again.
But
sorry, Mike, keep going.
No, but you attribute that to Andy Reid. You attribute that to the scheme. If you know that you have this amazing tight end that is going to catch the ball over every damn body, right? You create the game plan around him. You may even disguise it. Oh, all right, let's bring in Gray. Gray, go out there, pick up 5-6 yards. All right. Come here, Kelsey. Watson, all right. Go hit Watson. Give Kelsey a little breather. All right. He's all mad. He's in my face. Kelsey, get your ass back out there. Go out there, catch the 80-yard pass. That's the beauty, right? That's the beauty of it. So when you have a coach that knows what the hell they're doing on the field and can make the game plan based off of certain players' weaknesses and strengths. For instance, all right, Andy Reid, I know that it could be 3rd and 15. I don't have to worry too much because I'll have everybody run down the field. I know you can't touch Patrick Mahomes. I know you can't get to him. And if he can't throw to somebody, he's going to run, and he's going to pick up the first down.
And
we know that. We know that. Why? Because it's happened so many damn times. It's not a one-off. You can't sit there and be like, oh, Jay, I think it was luck. Hell no. How many times has Patrick Mahomes ran in the 3rd and 15 pick up first down? How many times have you sat there like, damn, he really did it again? I know, because I done did it at least 10 times. At least. So when we have the conversation as far as personnel and coaches and things like that, this is why I get frustrated. I don't get upset. I don't start crying and shit. I get frustrated because I don't think they have what it takes to play at a championship level, to coach at a championship level, and to win at a championship level.
He said Ric Flair. Woo! Josh, you said a mouthful there. Now, let's go back full 180 here. Back to our boy, Gabe Davis. If Gabe Davis leaves and goes to KC, in my opinion, they could pay him, number one. They don't have to pay him like he could be the number one receiver, but not pay him like a number one receiver because you're going to a championship winning team. You want to ring, Gabe? I'm going to give you money. You ain't going to be the highest paid player out here, but you're going to get a lot of money and you're going to be the number one. And I guarantee, and now with him and Kelsey together, and with Gray, that's a big lineup right there.
Listen, if I'm Andy Reid, hey, Gabe, I seen what you did to us in the AFC divisional game back in 2022. You had 200 yards, you went 8 for 10, and you had 4 touchdowns. We understand that you're a free agent now. We can't give you $40 million, maybe not even 30. But hey, we'll give you 15 and give you a real chance at getting a ring. What do you think Gabe Davis is going to say to that? You think he's going to sit there and be like, no, send me the contract right now. Get the lawyers on the phone. Let's go.
I'm on the next train smoking. He got, pew!
I'm going to Missouri. It's cold there too. I'm already used to it. So let's go.
It's crazy how his talent can go to another team and he can look like an absolute superstar. Super duper star when we let this dude go. Because he is a talent, man.
We've seen it time and time and time again. And the real problem is this, because like I said, we're going to get to the stats soon. Buffalo picks and chooses, and I hate it. And I'll tell you this, Buffalo picks and chooses, and especially when it comes down to who they want to baby. We have our favorites, but I think for me personally, I love the team as a whole, right? And when someone does bad, we get on them, we talk about it, we address it. Somebody acts stupid, it turns into a cancel locker room, we talk about it, we address it. But the team as a whole, I appreciate, I love, and respect. But there's certain people who will big up Stefon Diggs and then belittle Gabe Davis. Oh, Gabe Davis can't run a route. He had drops. Well, you know what? Let's talk about it. With that said, let's get into 2023 stats for Gabe Davis and Stefon Diggs. And a lot of people are going to get upset, whatever. I don't give a damn. This is the reality of it. When you look at the stats between Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis, if you say, Jay, you know what? I would say that Stefon Diggs probably isn't the answer either, but he is a little bit better than Gabe Davis based on this year. I won't fight you about that. I'll probably even agree. But if you sit here and you tell me that Stefon Diggs is better than Gabe Davis at the wide receiver position because he's the WR1, because he's the veteran, and because Gabe Davis had an off year, that's the shit that pisses me off. Let's get into these stats. 107 receptions for 160 targets for Stefon Diggs. He had 1,183 yards. His average was 11.1. He had 8 touchdowns. His long was 55. He had 2 fumbles, lost 1. Get into Gabe Davis. He was 45 of 81, 746 yards. His average was 16.6. He had 7 touchdowns. He had one less touchdown than Stefon Diggs, who had almost 500 more yards. So when we talk about production and when we talk about someone can't run a route or drop passes, this is the most efficient that I've seen as far as wide receivers for the Bills.
He averages 5 yards more than Stefon Diggs. He has the highest average on the team.
Listen, it is absolutely insane to me, the hate that I've been watching and looking at for the last 4 days since Gabe Davis put up the Instagram basically farewell video, right? And I said, you know what? I like Davis, but I'm not just going to spew out the mouth. I'm not just going to talk garbage. I'm going to go do a little bit more digging myself because I stream these damn games on Sunday. I watch who does what. We look at the stats, we go over it, and all this other stuff. Let's do another deep dive into it, right? 1,183 yards. Fine. Let's break it down even further. You know, somebody's sitting there right now like, Jay, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All right, let's break it down even further. Let's get into the Miami game. Y'all know I love stats. Look at this. Miami. Let's look at it. Khalil Shakur. He had 6 receptions on 6 targets. He had 105 yards. He averaged 17.5 as long as 46. Stefon Diggs, 7 receptions, 87 yards. No touchdowns. Sherfield had a touchdown and Dawson Knox had a touchdown. All right, Jay, that was only one game. It doesn't really matter. It's just one game. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to New England. Let's keep it going. Let me go back up here. Go to the Bills. Receiving. Dalton Kincaid, 4 receptions, 87 yards. Khalil Shakur, 4 receptions, 39 yards. Stefon Diggs, 4 receptions, 26 yards. No touchdowns. He had 7 targets. Gabe Davis, 2 receptions on 3 targets, 21 yards. His long was 15. What would you rather have? Would you rather have 7 of 4 and 26 or 3 and 2 and 21?
Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie.
Oh, we gonna keep it going. I ain't stopping there. We gonna keep it going.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Listen, we gonna go back to the Chargers. We're gonna go back to another one. Receiving. Gabe Davis, 6 of 4 for 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Stefon Diggs, 8 of 5 for 29. What are we talking about? Everyone's had so much to say, but are you actually looking at the damn numbers?
I'm going in, and I'm going to go hard. Josh, you're going in right now, man.
So let's go back to the most important game.
Ooh.
Right? Let's go back to the most important game. Dalton Kincaid, 5 for 45, or 5 receptions, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 45 yards. Shakur, 7 receptions, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Murray, who's a damn running back, 3 receptions for 27 yards. Stefon Diggs, 3. He was 8 for 3. And y'all want to talk to me about people catching a damn ball? He was 8 for 3 and had 21 yards in the AFC divisional playoffs. The team that you stood out on the damn field and watched go on to the damn Super Bowl. And this is the performance that we get out of a veteran? What are we talking about?
Yeah, you can't put that on Josh either on that one at all. Josh did what he's supposed to do, man. No, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose, Gabe, bro.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to me. So, and this isn't me really even ranting. This is me just addressing some of the people who've been saying all this garbage for the last 2 weeks. Oh, he can't run a route. Oh, he drops passes. Well, okay, Stefon Diggs is the WR1. So you mean to tell me that if that's the case, why the hell is Stefon Diggs getting that much money then? If you can't pay Gabe for his production, why are you okay with paying Stefon Diggs the money he's getting paid for that production? And it wasn't just one game. It wasn't just 2 games. It was multiple games. Shout out to you, Luta. She's like, Jay, calm down, sir. It's football. Hey, listen, I got to let it out.
Let it out. I mean, I think you better let it go. Let it go.
Chris also says we let Gabe go, so won't she be fired?
I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think nobody's getting fired. They're letting him go. Nobody's going to get fired, though. I think you're right. If somebody should get fired, they let him go. And again, everybody's going to use somebody else as a scapegoat. But in his case, he should definitely stay. He is a great receiver. Like I said, if he goes to KC, he's a WR1. in my opinion. And you don't have to pay him that way, and he's going to win a Super Bowl. Matter of fact, he can get you a couple Super Bowls.
I think the reality too is this. There's a certain level of fire, right? There's a certain level of passion that if you leave this team and then you end up on a championship caliber team, and then you go face that same team that didn't pick you back up, what kind of energy you bring into the table?
Oh, you're going hard.
You going hard. Listen, you're gonna catch damn near every pass thrown at you. You're gonna be fighting. You might even be doing too much out there, right? But you're gonna have this level of intensity and energy to go out there and ball out because this team didn't believe you no more, which you should. And we've seen people do it. Remember when Sammy Watkins went and they played against the Bills? What did Sammy Watkins do? Out there torching boys in the backfield.
Especially if they come back and play here too. Oh, we go give us the business. You better double him.
They'll like remember those times. Marshawn Lynch. When Marshawn Lynch.
That's another one.
Oh my goodness. When Marshawn
we didn't bring you know what? You got a point. I think you wanted something. The Bills is a farming team, man. I forgot about Marshawn Lynch. I forgot he played here, man. And went to Seattle and got a Super Bowl.
Listen, we drafted Marshawn Lynch. I
forgot about that. Oh.
I told you the story. I told you the story about when we met Marshawn Lynch back in the day. He was at the casino and all that shit. Yeah. Like, when you're around these people and you understand their character and all that, right. That's what leads to the you look at things different. Like, all right, this person's going to be great. And like, I knew that about Marshawn. I'm like, Marshawn will be great. And he balls out and then leaves. And then what does he do? Goes to Seattle and gets a damn ring.
Gets a ring. And a nice one at that. And matter of fact, should have had 2. Blame that on the coach. Should have had 2 rings.
Yeah, you should have 2. So when you sit there and you look at all that, it's really not hard to say that the Bills could be a farming team. It's the launch pad. If you want to start your career and shine and end up somewhere else great to go get a ring, start your career with the Bills.
Start with the Bills. You start with the Bills. It is a farm team, man. And it's sad because we're too talented of a team to give away great talent to go somewhere else and get get Super Bowls. It's sad.
What we should be able to do this. That's why I said, have we gotten to the point now where we've peaked and we just don't know it within the last 4 years? Like, between 2020 and 2024, did we have the team at one point in one season where everything was all cylinders and it just didn't happen? Was it that AFC championship that we lost? Was that? Because listen, nobody's saying that you're supposed to get to the damn Super Bowl every year. Just once. You can get there just once and people will be fine.
If you get there once every 5 years or 5-6 years, you're good.
Right? So one time, and all right, you win. You don't win for another 5-6 years. You get to a couple championships. People respect that. People are okay with that. But you never get there. Obviously, you never get the respect. That's just what it is. That's why the damn Lions are in the same spot that we're in right now. That's why you have people crying in the damn stadium when the Lions won, because they're like, man, it's finally our time.
And they're a similar team to us, man. They were saying it was 32 years since the Lions have gotten to the AFC Championship or NFC Championship. 32 years? That's crazy.
Listen, I'll tell you this right now. Shout out to Chris Hall. Says I would get rid of Diggs and keep Davis. Diggs carries too much drama. So that's another discussion, right? When we look at, and I don't want this to be a dig, pun intended, at Diggs. But I have nothing against the man. I actually like him. I do.
I think he's a good dude.
I think he's a good dude. I think that he he has great hands. He's got speed. He plays smart. He's got a good IQ. But I do think at this level in the time of his career, he's not who he used to be. And that edge is coming off. And so once again, and this is why I said when Joe Flacco got his contract, I love the incentive-based contracts because it keeps people going. If you give someone $300 million at the beginning of the season, looking at you, Joe Burrow, you give someone that amount of money, they already got the bag. What do I have to go out here and do? No, I'm supposed to win. All right, fine. I'll go out here and try to win. I already got the money.
You'll be stupid to keep.
I was going to say, if I had a contract where, all right, they give me $50 million now, and they're like, all right, the record needs to be this for you to get another 50, and you got to have this many yards to get another 50, and then you got to make it to the championship to get another 50, and then if you get the Super Bowl, you get this bonus, and you get whatever's left. Do you know what that's doing in my head? That's telling me I got to go out there and perform. I need the game plan. I need to know what the hell's going on. I got to figure out these defenses for every game, right? I'm going to be more involved. I'm going to be working with my wide receivers and be building chemistry with them. Hell, I'm working with the rookies, something that Aaron Rodgers ain't want to do because, he's at that level, whatever. But that's the difference. When you add that performance incentive-based contract, that's the difference of what you get. You get performance. And like I said, I think we may start to see that because there was a few people that slacked off that got paid this year that robbed teams.
Every team should have an incentive-based program. Now, the only caveat or downside to it, there is a downside.
Yeah.
And I get where the players come from this part, the injury portion of it. So you got to kind of cater it to where if you get injured, you kind of like prorate it a little bit. A little bit, not a lot, but you don't get a nice salary.
Clauses for it. That's what the injury clauses. There's injury clauses in those contracts, right? And lo and behold, to be honest, and it sucks I'm going to say this, but I think the reality is this: if you get injured, you being out shouldn't sacrifice and it shouldn't handicap the whole damn team. We know you're an all-star. We know you're a superstar, right? But if we paid you too much damn money and you go out in the first damn game of the season and now we're stuck with Zach Wilson all year, that shit shouldn't happen.
Yeah, they put all their eggs in one basket. I'm talking about, and matter of fact, they may have put a couple of chickens in there too. Like that was probably the epitome of making a decision that I guarantee you, if I was them or any other team, I would never make a decision like that anymore, ever again in life, based off what happened with Aaron Rodgers. What was it? 4 plays? What was it? 4 plays? 3 or 4 plays. First drive. It was definitely first drive.
It was the first play on the first drive. So listen, when you have that situation, not only is it the back of your mind, but now looking forward, you're like, other teams, hell no, we'll never do that again. That's why
he ruined it for everybody. Yeah, he ruined it for everybody. And nobody else will get a contract like that again.
That's why I said the performance-based contract is what should be done for everybody. You got a franchise player, fine, pay him, but make it performance-based. That's I'm not playing favorites for everybody because that alleviates the issues and the problems that you have now with the Jets. Oh, well, we hope Aaron Rodgers comes back. He's not going to be playing at 100%. He's older now. He's got the torn Achilles. It heals. Cool. He steps back on that field. Guess what? In the back of your mind, shit, I better not step this way, or I better not twist this way, or I better not drop back. I better not drop back all fast. I better not put all my foot down or my pressure on this foot while I throw it. That changes everything.
It's definitely mental. And look at your boy, too, talking about incentive base. Look at your boy, Deshaun Watson. MIA. Yo, $300 million guaranteed. And guess what? If I was him, I'll be doing exactly what he's doing too. Chilling. You talked about earlier, the bag, you got $300 million guaranteed.
I have the money. I have the money. So what do I do? Why? What? Am I just going out there for the accolade now? Fine. Yeah, I'll go out there. But the moment I get injured,
I'm taking my time.
I'm on the bench. Y'all go out there, y'all figure it out. Yeah,
Flacco, enjoy yourself, Flacco. Have a good time out there. You look good, Flacco. Have a great time. I'll be his big. I'm his biggest cheerleader. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm cheerleading. Matter of fact, you need a massage? I got you, dog. Have fun out there. The longer you out there, the more time I can stay on this bench and collect my $300 million.
All right, I'll call some plays. I'll help him out for the season. I'll put the headset on and I'll help him out. I'll go out there, run an option route, and go.
I'm not doing nothing more. And Deshaun Watson would never play 17 games, I guarantee you, in the rest of his career. He'll never play a 17-game season, ever. Why would you? Why would you want to?
And you know what's sad? When someone gets paid all that money and we're sitting here not even having a conversation about them being in the top quarterbacks. No one's talking about, oh yeah, Deshaun Watson's in my top 10. Then why the hell was he paid $300 million? It's insane.
And what's screwed up about that too, and again, they blame it on Cleveland. Now, Glenn, again, I don't blame Deshaun Watson because it's not his fault. Somebody want to pay you, if somebody want to overpay for you, take the money. It's Cleveland's fault, but now Cleveland screwed up the league because now every quarterback, the way better ones, are now comparing themselves to him. Like, yo, he got $300 million. I'm way better than him. I need 350. I need 325. And now the cap just went up for quarterbacks when it shouldn't have, because he shouldn't have been the person to create the cap. No, Patrick Mahomes, yes, you deserve to create a high cap. I guarantee you, 100%. I get it. You got 3 rings. I guarantee. Good. Deshaun, you haven't done anything. Anything.
Well, that's the anomaly, right? Patrick Mahomes is the anomaly because he's one. He's one of the quarterbacks that got paid the money for what he was worth and 100%. Then went out there and showed it, just like Lamar Jackson. He's another one that got paid and went out there and showed out. He showed what he was worth. Got him to an AFC championship. Nobody expected it. Got paid what he's worth. Was his own agent. That's a whole nother topic. We already covered that, but there's a whole other thing. But that's the point of it, right? You look at Joe Burrow. He's like, all right, yeah, I got you to a Super Bowl. I didn't win it, but hey, I won $300 million. And then this year, now they're trying to finesse the injury report to get him on the field, and that's what you have to do for your $300 million quarterback.
He's smoking cigars all the way to the bank.
Listen, that's the beauty of it. We talk about it all the time. When you have a chance to get the bag, you get it. And we're not hating. Don't get it wrong. We're not hating on you getting the bag. What we're saying is, just don't finesse the fans.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it a buck before we get off. The guys that got the bag that didn't perform, the smartest guys on the field. Or I should say, hold on. Smartest guy off the field, because most of them ain't playing.
Yeah.
Because in order to trick somebody to pay you that much money, you got to be a bad man, dog. Like, in order to, he Houdini'd everybody. Like, he David Copperfield everybody.
I'll tell you this, though. I think the biggest finesse wasn't Deshaun Watson.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. For as old as he is, yeah.
That was the biggest finesse. Aaron Rodgers was probably the big. Deshaun Watson, like I said, before we wrap it up, Deshaun Watson had a little bit of time. He's got a little bit of time to get it right. And with that team, he should. He should. If he don't know what to do with them damn Browns after Flacco showed him what to do, get his ass out of there. That's just the reality.
Who gonna pay him? Who gonna pick up that contract? Nobody picking up $300 million. Nobody picking up $300 million. And then don't the salary cap go up this year again? And nobody picking up that, dog. Nobody picking up that contract. And not for that performance.
Even if you don't pick him up, he might have to sit. If he can't do it, he might just have to sit. And
He
you
is
got
going
to
to
pay
be
him for sitting on the damn bench.
the highest paid bench player in history. He might have to be that. And again, that's okay if you win the championships, because what Flacco did last year, like you said before, what Flacco did at the end of the season was magnificent. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this, and I hate to jump this topic real fast, but look at what the tight end did. Look what Flacco did with the tight end. He has never had a performance like that until Flacco got on the team.
Listen, Njoku was absolutely stellar. Absolutely.
Worked.
Yeah.
And he's always been a great tight end. He just never got the ball like he's supposed to get.
Yeah.
Like was like, fuck, I'm gonna give you the ball and throw the shit up in the air, you just grab it.
Listen, it was a great conversation. Always good.
My man.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out Franklin Crocker Show. That's on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. Make sure you guys hit that like, that thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, we gotta definitely break down this. We got some stuff coming up for March Madness too, so we'll get into that soon.
Love it.
Yeah, man. Have yourself a great Friday. Shout out to all of you guys for rocking with us, and we'll see you all soon.
I'll see you when I look at you. Ooh, let's go.
Peace out, you.
My man.